Yeah, right. You think I keep out of there? Do you think I actually stay away from high voltage? Well, then you're wrong. Hi, I'm Nick Shell. We're going to talk about hair loss. That's what we're going to talk about. And in this video, it's really less about me and it's more about you. In fact, it's all about you and it's none about me. It's not about what I'm saying in this video, but instead what you are going to add to this conversation. Because what I'm asking you to do is to either shoot this down or to back me up. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for you to help me sort out this theory, because so much of what I do is, as a YouTuber who talks about hair loss, is to help us understand ourselves better by presenting theories and debunking them or backing them up. So I've hinted in the past before that I'm seeing, I don't know, almost sort of like a Venn diagram of people who are bothered by their hair loss enough to watch these videos, and people who suffer from anxiety and depression. Okay? I know that sounds weird at first, but let me explain it briefly. Here's what I'm saying, is that people who have anxiety and depression, they take medication for it. Okay? And that helps them. That regulates it for them. I understand that concept. But I also know that people who tend to suffer from anxiety and depression and those sort of things are also, something I've noticed about people like that, tend to have this wound in their heart. Something in their past, in their childhood, in their formative years, some kind of wound that ultimately, you can keep taking the medications, but ultimately, whatever is being buried, whatever is being masked, whatever has a Band-Aid on it, is still there. So I have nothing negative to say about people taking their prescriptions for that. That's what they need to do, of course. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of people don't realize that ultimately they've got a lot of issues because of this wound inside. And so they live their whole lives on medication, but maybe never get the help that they need psychologically. And unearthing and talking about and sorting out through that issue that they're actually going through at the heart of what happened to them. That makes sense, right? I endorse people taking their medicine for their fear and depression, anxiety, and all of the above. But yet at the same time, we could both agree that if that person has something in their life that is kind of the root of their fear or their anxiety or their depression, some kind of root cause behind it, if that's never dealt with, then what a shame that they live their whole life ultimately still kind of locked up inside of here because of that. That's my theory, right? But what I'm seeing is a lot of people that watch my channel, I feel like there could be a possibility that instead of having maybe some kind of traumatic wound, they've got some kind of fundamental issue inside as far as feeling and knowing that they will be liked and appreciated by society even if they don't have hair. And to them, that's their wound. So for them, they live their day in the likeness of anxiety, fear, and depression, but not actually being any of those things. But carrying around this burden that I'm not good enough because I'm losing my hair, and I can't be the same person I could be because I won't have hair, right? That's what I'm seeing here. So what do we do? What do a lot of people do? And a lot of people praise the medications and say, hey, I can take Rogaine, or I can get a transplant. I can do something to actually stop this. And that works for them, and I'm happy for them. But I wonder, even beyond that, does that solve the problem? I don't know, because I haven't been in that situation. I'm curious if suddenly your hair loss stops, does that make the problems go away? There's no way for me to know that. But do you see kind of what I'm seeing here? Is that is the hair loss situation simply unearthing a deeper issue inside as far as our confidence level and what we believe? Is it really going to solve all of our problems to have our hair back, or to keep our hair from going? 10 years from now, when you age in other ways, or you realize in 10 years from now, my life isn't going where I thought it would go, that sort of thing. I just wonder if we're ultimately, if the hair loss thing is the first sign of unmasking, unearthing a more serious issue. Just like with fear and depression and anxiety, people take medicine to mask. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying I feel that I've known people that'll do that. I know people for a fact that are that way. They had something happen to them and they're not talking about it, so they take medications as if that's going to take care of the problem. All it does is get them through the day. Getting through the day is not enough. I just want to make sure, because this is about psychology and hair loss, that we are truly attacking the heart of what's going on, the core of what's going on psychologically with our hair loss. I get it. For some people, maybe it's just simply that I look better with hair. I wish I had hair. Some people it's that simple. But I kind of think that for other people, that still wouldn't be enough. That there's still a fundamental issue as far as self-worth goes. I mean, females definitely go through this. We all know that. A lot of females have image issues, you know, that they weigh too much or whatever it is, and they compare themselves to the magazines and all that. But I think, see, everybody knows about that. They all body shaming and all those things that, but as far as the male version of that, I think there's something psychologically connected to all this, in which with men it's not as obvious, but for us, so much of it occurs with the hair loss, okay? So if you at all understand where I'm coming from and where I'm trying to get at, help me sort this out, because I'm not teaching you anything in this video. I'm saying I want to start a conversation about this, about the fact that are we ultimately putting a Band-Aid on this in some way when really the issue is in here to begin with. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Just like with people who are medicated for depression and anxiety, and then they never get the issue resolved. That's how I feel. And I hope I'm not alone in seeing the connections here, because I might just seem like a jerk if I am. Is anybody out there, can anybody, even that guy in the plane, can anybody relate to what I'm thinking about right now as I say all this?